Okay, everyone can see my screen? Yeah, okay. So let's start. It's today probably the last class for the Bhagavad Gita. Let's see how far we go. It's quite a few verses to cover. Last two sections, which we are doing, one of the most beautiful section of Bhagavad Gita, Surrender to Krishna, which we already started. Today we'll do one of the most famous verses, which Prabhupada quoted probably so many times. No other verse was come close to the number of times Prabhupada quoted that, 1866 and 65. Let's do a quick revision. So 63 and 64 we did last week, so just two verses revision. Who wants to do 63? One of the most famous verses, this one as well. Rasanand Prabhu or Vijay Gopi Mataji, you're on the top of the screen.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It's too small for me.
While you are setting up, before we look at 63, we have to look at the 62. There's a clear connection between 62 and 63.
It says, O scion of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal board.
Yeah.
Verse number 63 is, thus I have explained to you the knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do. So 62 is talking about surrendering to him. That means to the Paramatma. So by his grace, we will attain the peace and the supreme abode. So that is the two benefits of surrendering to Paramatma itself. By his grace, you will attain peace and supreme and the eternal abode.
So now if you look at the 63, the connection 63
here. Connection is giving is, I've already given the knowledge, explained to you the knowledge, which is, thus I explained to you the knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully, then you do whatever you wish to do. So Krishna is giving his,
he has given the knowledge in the previous verses. Now in 63 is saying, I've given you all the knowledge, contemplate on the knowledge and do whatever you wish to do.
Yeah, so the connection is iti. So iti means whatever he has just spoken before, which is 62, which is tameva sharanam gacha. So he is saying surrender, and then iti te jnanam akhyatam. So I have already explained this knowledge, and what sort of knowledge this is? Guhyad, guhyataram. So what are the two degrees? Confidential and more confidential. So he has given very, very confidential knowledge. She's saying Maya, me, vimarshayate. Vimarshayate means contemplate, meditate, think about it.
Think about it.
Asheshana, how much you can think? Krishna is not timing it. Okay, you got 10 seconds to surrender, huh?
Always.
9, 2, 3, something like that, huh? Asheshana, Krishna is actually opening up the whole world for the jiva. And then finally he says, and then even after contemplation, you don't agree with me, yathechasi tatha karu. So that's what we read last week. And this obviously not to Arjuna, is telling to all the jivas. I have given you all the knowledge, you contemplate on it. And this shows the love of Krishna. He's not a cruel God who's just...
He's giving us the choice.
He's giving us the choice. Huh? So as Chaitanya Prabhu says, Bhagavad Gita is not the book of commandments. do this, don't do this. It's a book of choices. Krishna clearly giving choices to this. And this also proves that minute free will which Jiva has. So this verse is the proof. I think someone was asking Sankarshan Maharaj once, what's the proof in Shastra that Jiva has the free will? Here is the proof. Yathechasi tatha kuru. So although Krishna has full power to control us, but he doesn't fully control us. He like us to control by love, and he also gets controlled by love. Okay, 64.
Prabhu, I just have a small doubt on
Sure,
this.
Mataji.
This is actually even helpful for the preaching side of it. Like sometimes when we do preaching,
Yes.
we expect the results like everybody should become Krishna conscious, but this gives like hope. Even Krishna is saying, I'm giving the knowledge, but do whatever you want. But do we still leave it in that point? Like, is their choice to follow Krishna
Absolutely.
conscious? You have to force.
It says that the expert preacher always presents in such a way that it leaves the choices to the audience. Expert preacher. But expert preacher also has a desire of himself, right? Now, he's not expressing it, but everyone has the desire that if I preach this message, they should get this message because this is so beautiful. It will help them. But it's your desire. But the way you are presenting you're presenting it completely in a neutral way. And then you do whatever you want to do. Keshav Maharaj gives us beautiful example. If you see a gulab jamun, for example, you enter in a house somewhere, in Vaikuntha Ashram, I'm remembering, and you smell gulab jamun from the door. Like, wow, there's a gulab jamun. And then you go upstairs or in the kitchen table, you see gulab jamun. So the first is the Brahman platform. The second is what? Paramatma platform. You see the gulab jamun. You still have not tasted. Is it good or bad? It must be good, but just in case. So you have not tasted it as yet. So the best thing you can do to a gulab jamun for yourself is what? Smell, okay. See, okay. Very tempting. Eat, but you can't force anyone. You may have diabetes or you may have ekadashi or whatever. So the best thing is you present the knowledge with the smell, with the flavor, with the actual presentation of it, but then you leave it to the person. He wants to eat the gulab jamun, he doesn't want to eat that. But your desire is, that's your desire. Yes, they should take. And he was giving the example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was preaching to Buddhists, to Jains, to other Mayavadi people. So he present, and many got converted and many didn't, but they appreciated the knowledge, but they didn't convert it in that sense that they started absolutely seriously following Krishna consciousness, but they appreciated it. So, and he also said the expert preacher also knows how much this person can move till. So there's a scale from 1 to 10. Some person can be pushed till 9, some person can be 8, some person will break down after 2. If you ask them to chant in the very beginning, chant 2 rounds and follow Ekadashi, they just can't deal with all that. They can only deal with, come to Sunday and take prasad and chit chat, and that's fine. So that's the expertise of the preacher. Preacher has to become very mature and sensitive at the same time. He has to be sensitive towards their conditioning, their attachments. And the last thing he said, because it's about the preaching, you can only take a person to the heights which you have internally realized yourself. If you have not internally realized yourself, you can't take it higher than that, although you may desire to. If you have only internalized, say, 10% of Krishna consciousness, you cannot preach to a person and expect him to reach 50%. Because you cannot take, obviously other devotees can, and that's why we say sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha. So I may know something, other devotees also know something. I may inspire in one corner of life, and other people can inspire. So please come to temple, associate with devotees, because with devotee association, you'll grab so many things. In Mahabharata, they say, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village. So our temple is like a village of devotees. Everyone is, inspiring each other in different qualities. So yeah. So there's something which we do, something which we think, and something which we desire inside. All aspects are there.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mata. Akhandasa Prabhu or Mataji. They've just landed from the flight a few hours ago. Very happy
Hare
to see
Krishna.
them. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you for your commitment. They had a
Yeah.
long flight and they still see enthusiastically participating in this yagya. Thank you. Very nice.
Bit slow though, right
No
now.
problem. You're here. Shri Parad Prabhu used to say, I really love this line, just show up. So just come to temple, just show up, and Krishna will take care of everything else. So, Hare
Yeah.
Krishna, yes.
Hare Krishna. This verse 62, as you said, surrender unto him utterly, as you said, referring to Paramatma.
Yes.
Maybe you have elaborated on that, but we are not a little bit, we are unclear. Could you please explain about why is Krishna not saying directly surrender unto me here,
Yeah.
and rather to Paramatma?
Yeah. It's the same thing, but Krishna is taking us step by step. Like first he gave the knowledge of Brahman. If you say 1854, Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atmana Sochati Na Kankshati. So ultimately it's the same absolute truth, but he is taking the jiva step by step in terms of instruction. So he's saying first you situate yourself in Brahma Bhuta platform, then Na Sochati Na Kankshati, and then you get Mad Bhaktim Labdhe Param. And then you're saying you surrender unto that. So he's still using the third party reference as if he's not there. Although he has used in this chapter, at least from 1854 onwards, Mam word. But still in this platform of, again, preaching expertise, you can say, in this platform is still saying, surrender tama eva. Tama means that third person. He's not saying mama. Now he will say soon after this mama as well. And then why mama is more important and more deep? Because with that mama, with that Krishna, Arjun has a deep relationship already. When I say, you go to the third person, or I say, Mataji, can you go to, say, Vijay Gopi Mataji? You already have a relationship. Going to another Mataji is like a third person. You don't know that person, for example. You know this person. She's your friend. You know her for many years. So now relationship is deepening slowly. Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhu, that's understood. But the thing is, sometimes these Mayavadis and impulses, they hold on to this verse saying that, well, it's not
Yeah.
Krishna.
Yeah, so
It's the supreme spirit within that
yeah,
we should
absolutely
surrender
fine.
into.
Then you
So,
have examples as well. What's the example? 10.8. Aham sarvasya prabho. Even Brahman coming from me. Brahmano hi pratistham 1426. So I am the basis of Brahman. So that's why Bhagavad Gita can be analyzed from different perspectives. And that's why Krishna speaks this language, because he wants to be very inclusive. He doesn't want to just give to devotees. He said, okay, you're impersonal, you can still read Bhagavad Gita. Shankaracharya making commentary on Bhagavad Gita, impersonal commentary. Vivekananda did that. Ramakrishna did that. So many impersonalists have commented on Bhagavad Gita, and what you are saying is correct. But that's why we have to look at from the person who has written Bhagavad Gita as it is. And that's the difference. So both commentaries are there. So what you are saying, they will love this verse. They will love all the verse. Vishati tadantaram. There's a word used. I can't remember the verse number. They love this. As soon as the entrance comes, they love it. And we discuss about it. You entered into Sydney. Your plane entered into Sydney. So what's the problem with that word? So there's no problem actually. But yeah, they love those verses. But they don't love this 1865 and 66. They don't love it. They run away from these verses and they use some word jugglery there. So you're right. And that's why we are trying to understand from Prabhupada the exact meaning.
thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. 64. This is also why this verse is so important. Before we do the verse, anyone else, Madhuri Mataji? If you remember, not sure whether you were there in the last class.
I wasn't there in the last class.
You
Prabhu.
wasn't there. Okay, no problem. Who was there? Mahasu Prabhu. He's an intelligent devotee. Hare
No,
Krishna.
Prabhu, not at all, Prabhu.
No. You
Thank
are.
you. All
Hare.
right. So shall we
No, I'm not doing the verse. Why this verse
Okay,
is
just
very
a-
important. Just quickly,
Okay.
one-liner, two-liner.
The reason why it's important is because of the connection that it has with the previous verse, which is the word Guya, right? Guya, then Guya Taram and Guya Tamam. And now Krishna is going to disclose what is the most important secret, like the most secret thing. That's one.
Okay.
Secondly, in this, Krishna is actually revealing his heart.
Yay.
Because until now Krishna did speak about the other ways of devotion and everything, but now Krishna is going to speak about his heart, what he really wants from his devotee.
Right.
That really makes it very important.
Yeah. And what are the words, Prabhu, Krishna is using?
Here,
for his heart's love for the jiva or for Arjuna here.
That is Dridam. That's the word. Because
Dridam,
Krishna is very determined that he will actually protect and take his devotees back home, back to Godhead. That is one.
Dridam is
And
an adjective, Prabhu. So it's adjective for what? Dridam is correct, Prabhu, but it's adjective. It's sort of enhancing the beauty of another word. It's an
Okay,
enhancer.
yeah.
But
It is
what's the real word?
Hitam.
Dear,
hitam.
Hitam. Okay, before hitam. Sorry. You're right. Hitam is also correct word. Dridham is also correct word. Ishta.
Ishta, yes, sorry.
Ishta,
Yeah,
you're
dear.
very dear to me. Ishta, how many Ishta Devata, Kula Devata we have, right? Ishta, first is Ishta. Now, not all the Devatas you will love, but you will do your rituals and all that. Ishta, you're very Ishta to me. And I am determined to love you. Huh? So not only I love you, many times people use this word I love you, they have no meaning. But Krishna is saying, I love you in what way? In determined way, like no matter what you do. So it says, no jiva can commit any sort of aparadh or pap that Krishna will say, Hare Krishna, bhaiya ho gaya. No more company with you. Huh? You are a non-devotee, you are a pig or this and that. Nothing. Krishna will never leave you. He loves you so much. Although it says modern science or modern world is every day investigating, new ways of forgetting God, isn't it? You go out on your phone, on your Facebook, Twitter, this, that. You can forget God so easily. Video games, so many things for sense gratification. So newer ways of forgetting God. But God is saying, I am Dharmamishta. I will never leave you. Huh? So much dharma. Even when a person says, there is no God, God is dead, God is impersonal, God is Jyoti, God said, no, no. Dradhamisto. Huh? So I'm determined to love you. And why I'm speaking? So first is my heart and then my action. So God is not just saying heart, I love you, this and this. Because Prabhupada said love means action. What is the action Krishna is doing? Vakshami, I'm going to tell you. For what purpose? Not for my hita, te hita, for your hita. Huh? So God is saying, I'm going to do. So when I say I love God, what does it mean? I serve God. Prabhupada said, when you go in front of God, the God, or say Gopinath here, you should feel that Gopinath is asking, what are you doing for me? Prabhupada said that. When you go in front of Gopinath and you feel in your heart, Gopinath is asking me, what are you doing for me? Because when we go in front of Gopinath, usually what we do, Gopinath, what are you doing for me? So many things are going wrong in my life. Nothing is working. My health is bad. I've lost the job. There's that so many problems. What are you doing, Gopinath? Are you listening or not? But Prabhupada said, it should be other way. What Gopinath is doing, leave it to Gopinath. What are you doing for Gopinath? He says, when you feel in your heart naturally like that, that means you're advancing. So basically, Prabhupada said we should go in front of Gopinath with a service spirit. Service spirit, huh? What service I can render to Gopinath? Now, nothing we can do is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But if as a little jiva, whatever little capacity we have this, natural love. Gopinath, sorry, I couldn't bring anything for you. This apple I have brought for you. This little water I have brought for you. Huh? Please accept. Huh? Please engage me in your service, which we chant whole day, Hare Krishna. Huh? So if we had that service spirit in front of Gopinath, instead of asking, why, we should ask how. How means, how can I serve you? And when can I serve you? Now. Not tomorrow, Gopinath, when this problem goes away from my life, sure, sure, I will give you 10 rupees. No, this problem is there, that's fine. But whatever my capacity is to serve you, I can at least hear your name. I can chant your name. That I can do. I can see afford. That's also a seva, actually. We'll talk about it. So, Tato Vikshami, this shows the heart of Krishna. Thank you, Mahasa Prabhu. Now we come to the word which Mahasa Prabhu started. Maybe someone else can continue. Anyone? Sundar Gopal Prabhu, if you want to do. Today we have the youngest Bhakti Shastri here, Adi Dev Prabhuji.
He
Hare
said,
Krishna.
write my name there, and I want to do the next verse, and I'll read the translation.
Absolutely, Adi.
Read the
Absolutely.
translation, basically. That's why.
Beautiful. See, he has a service spirit. That's what we are discussing, and he's an example for that. Good on you, Adi. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Look at his boldness. Okay.
So, Prabhu, in this verse, like I said, it's one of the most important verse because Krishna is speaking his heart. He's saying that, you're most devoted to my dear friend, and I'm speaking to you to the supreme instruction that I have, and the most confidential knowledge, which is the Bhuyatamam Bhuya. Again, Bhuya is again and again. Again,
So what is Sarva? Sarva Guhya Tamam?
That is the most confidential.
Most. Sarva means of all the knowledges which I have given you, this is Guhya, and not only Guhya, Guhya Tamam. So Guhya, Guhya Tara, Guhya Tamam. So in the previous verse, we used 2 degrees, Guhya and Guhya Tara. Here is saying, out of everything, Guhya Tamam. And then Bhuya. What does Bhuya mean?
Again.
Everyone knows. Why
Yeah.
Krishna is using word Bhuya?
Because he has repeated,
Where he has repeated?
This Guhyadam thing, he has the confidential, confidential knowledge, he's done it in chapter 9.
Chapter 9. Any one example of Guhya Tamam knowledge which he has given earlier in Bhagavad Gita. Any one example.
I had the verse in my mind, just slipped out.
No problem. Anyone, unmute yourself. Just say one thing. There are many. One thing.
Ananya Chintayanto Mam.
Ananya Chintayanto Mam. Thank you so much. Huh? So he's saying Yoga Shema Vahami Aham Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam. Main bik jata hu. I get sold if you offer a little leaf or Ganga Jal. Now, who will say that, isn't it? We will not get sold. We get sold to our employer for 8 hours and then we work from home or we work for home. Don't know. Huh? Sab kuch saath mein. Huh? So, but Krishna is saying, I get sold to your love. Okay. Shunu mein Paramam Vacha. Paramam Vacha, where does this has been used in the Bhagavad Gita earlier? Shunu mein Paramam Vacha. 10.1. Shunu mein Paramam Vacha. 1864. Exactly same line. Huh? Now, in the Bhagavad Gita, he has used Guhyatamam earlier in different verse, Shurume Paramambacha in a different verse, but this is the only verse in Bhagavad Gita where he used 2 superlative degree at the same time. So what it's showing, what is going to come now, it has 2 categories. Together, it is Sarva Guhyatamam and it's Parama, supreme instruction of all the instructions he has given. So what's going to come now, it's extremely special. Nowhere else in Bhagavad Gita has been described earlier. So 65 and 66 is going to be those 2 verses. Vishwanath Chandra Thakur says Bhagavad Gita is like a jewel box. So jewel box has a bottom, has a top. So it says the top of the jewel box is what? Karma Yoga. The bottom of the jewel box is what? The Jnana Yoga. The middle part, which we see, 666, we say. So middle part is Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti is kept inside the jewel box because Bhakti is not to be revealed. Bhakti is like a jewel. So you don't, show your jewel to everyone and every time. So, but what has happened, although Bhakti is inside, but if you want to know the value of the jewel box, sometimes they display something very nice, isn't it? The display will be very nice, especially, when you go to a clothing shop, they will put the best display. And then when, you enter inside, Mataji inside, they say, ye wala dena, because that dress will be the costliest dress. Huh? And then owner will say, oh, Mataji, we only have 1 piece left. So this 65 and 66, Vishwanath Chakri Thakur says, they are like the jewels, the most precious jewel. And what Krishna has done, he has put it outside the jewelry box. So when anyone sees this jewel box, wow, look at it. And he just gets attracted towards it. So 65 and 66 is the most valuable jewel out of the whole Bhagavad Gita. 2 jewels. So let's discuss these 2. And Adidev Prabhu can read if he is available. 65.
You want to read the verse as well, or do you want to read the translation?
What verse?
This one that you're saying.
I can do the verse.
You can do the verse?
Okay.
Start reading it.
Mana, mana, bhavamad, bhakto,
Manmana bhava madbhakto,
madhyatamam, na, maskaro.
Madhyaji mam namaskuru.
Mama, Evyasi, Sayante,
Mam evashyasi satyam te.
Tejina, Yo, Simi.
Pratijane priyosi me.
Okay, now read the translation. Loudly.
Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this
Because you are my very dear friend.
Yay. Very nice, Adit. Very beautiful pronunciation. Thank you. Okay, so this verse, as we have I think discussed earlier as well, is a similar verse in Bhagavad Gita elsewhere. Who can tell that? Everyone knows that.
9.34.
9:34.
Can you recite the verse, please? Sorry.
Manmana bhava bhaktato madhyagi mam namaskuru mam ye vaishasi vittaivam atmanam matparayana.
Thank you, Mata. So you can see the first two lines are exactly same, and this one word is also same. So let's read 934 first, because then we can relate it better. Manmana bhavantato, and I'll come back to this line. Mam eveshyasi is used in both verses, right? Mam eveshyasi means you'll come back to me. It's defined in both the places. But the difference here you see, Mam yukta evam atmanam mat parayanaha. So anyone can translate this line? Atmanam mat parayanaha. Atmanam means Atma. What does Atma refers to here? So Atma has many meanings. You can read proper translation here. Atmanam, your soul, mat parayanaha. Parayan means depending on me, mat. If you make me the supreme goal, what will happen? You will come back to me. So it's all about Arjun, 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 or Jiva, Jiva, Jiva. So emphasis of 934 is mostly on Jiva. What Jiva will do, so the eventual result will be Mam Eveshyasi, right? Now look at the 1865. Read these two lines in a second. So first two lines are exactly same. Third line, first two words exactly same. Mame Vishasi. Now Krishna says Satyam Te. What does Satyam Te refer to? Satyam Te. I am speaking truth to you. What does it mean? Krishna is saying, I am being truthful to you. Why Krishna has to say that? Huh?
He's giving a promise.
He's giving a promise. The promise Pratijane. We'll come to it. Definitely, this there. Pratijane. Which other verse in Bhagavad Gita has used this verse? Pratijane. Arjun declared boldly that my devotee never perishes. Now you can tell. Mad bhakta na pranashyati. So, Mam Evashi Satyam Te. So, Acharyas explain Krishna's one name is Satya, truth, right? Krishna, whatever he speaks is truth. He cannot speak lie. But here is saying Satyam Te. It's not to say Krishna speaks lies. It's Krishna come down to a human level. And in humans, right? Sometimes you say, my dear friend, I'm really speaking to you truth. Sahi bol raha hu, sachi, sachi. Why? Because we are used to speak lies, right? And then we say, Ekdam Satya, it's absolutely truth. Or sometimes we say in Hindi also, Saugand, Shapat khata hu, all these things. Why? Because humans keep speaking lies. They cannot live without lies. So Krishna is coming down to human level and saying, Satyam te, Parth, do not think. And also many times Krishna can be doubted because sometimes, when he was young, he was stealing butter from different places and he will lie. Again, that's another Leela. But so people may not believe. And that's why I say, Konte Pratijanehi Name Bhakta Pranashyati. So in the 9th chapter, when he said the Konte Pratijani, Konte, you do the declaration, not me, because people sometimes don't trust me. But now he's saying, Satyam Te, Konteya, I am telling you, Satya, please believe it. Please believe it. Satyam Te. And what I will do in this. So in 934, what he was doing, what is expected out of you. Now Krishna is saying, what is expected out of me. What I am doing extra here. What I'm doing extra here. Pratijane, I am declaring. So here, there, 9th chapter, Konte Pratijani, Konte, Arjuna was declaring. Pratijane means declare it boldly. Declare it boldly. So he has boldly declared by Arjuna. Now he's boldly declaring himself. Now, what does the declaration means? If I tell you, I will give you $100, for example, and then next day you come to me, Prabhu, where is $100? Kab kaha tha? When did I say that? I didn't say that. But when you declare it means when you speak in front of many people, when they're witnesses, it becomes very serious, isn't it? It becomes a matter of honor. Now, even if I tell you, I never promised with you, another 3 witnesses will say, nahi, Prabhuji bola tha. Sakshi Gopal pastime. The Brahmana, young Brahmana says, if you can talk, you can walk. witnesses is there. And he says, Sakshi Gopal, you're the witness. And that's why the name came Sakshi. Huh? So when the witness is involved, that statement or that conversation becomes very heavy, or it becomes a matter of honor, right? And then the second thing, beautiful, Priyosime. And it's not like I'm just saving my honor or something. Priyosime, it's a matter of honor, Pratijane, and it's a matter of heart. So Arjuna, I am declaring boldly, please believe me, it's absolutely true, that if you do this, Ma Meveshi says, certainly you will come back to me. I declare it boldly because you are very dear to me. Huh? So he's putting everything in public in front of everyone. Now he cannot go back to his words. You understand the seriousness in Krishna's statement? Huh? I think some devotee, I can't remember, someone was asking, what's the difference between sankalpa and saying? So I said, sankalpa is quite serious. It's the same thing. Huh? But you take water in the hand and then do a sankalpa. Vaman Dev said to Bali Maharaj, you do a sankalpa, not just say. Huh? You do a sankalpa. And then Shukracharya was worried. He's doing sankalpa now. Huh? Very serious statement. Now let's see what the serious statement is. Man mana bhav mad bhakto. So Acharya has explained there are 4 levels of devotion which Krishna is explaining. What are the 4 levels? Man mana, you give your mind to me. Many times, at least I can say for myself, even if I'm involved in devotional service, but not necessarily my mind is also involved, isn't it? My body may be there, no doubt about it. I'm standing in the arti in a class or something, but not necessarily mind is also there. And it says you don't live where your body lives, you live where your mind lives. Huh? So Krishna is asking the most subtlest thing and saying most difficult thing. For the mind, what does Arjuna says in 6th chapter? Anyone remembers that famous verse? Chanchalam hi manaha Krishna pramati valvadranham. And Krishna, Arjuna says, I can stop the wind, but I cannot stop the mind. So Krishna's first thing is man mana, give your mind to me, because Krishna is a very possessive God. You only love me, huh? Man mana, give your mind to me. Body you give me or no, I don't care. But give me. So this is the highest level of devotion. Second, he is saying, Bhava mad bhakto, if you cannot give complete mind to me, what you can do, Bhava mad bhakto, you perform devotional service unto me. Now we know there are 9 types of devotional service as explained by Prahlad Maharaj. So you can be involved in any or multiple aspects of the devotional service and still be going towards Krishna. It's not necessarily the end, but it's pretty high. Third level, he says, Madhyaji, if you cannot do those sort of 9 bhakti, any one type of bhakti, what you do, Madhyaji. Yaji means, anyone remembers Yajan? Puja. You do worship to me. So if you cannot do Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam and all that, you can do Aarti. Now, if you see in Indian culture, the Aarti is quite common, right? No matter which part of India you go, south, north, east, west, everyone offers a diya at least once a day or sometime twice a day. Out of culture, they may not be a devotees, they may not be listening lectures in the morning, chanting, but Madhyaji. So that's actually a positive thing which they are doing, offering diya to Krishna, for example, or agarbatti. Sometimes they offer this ilaichi dana. I don't know what you call in Tamil. Ilaichi dana, that sugar candy thing, white thing. You understand? It's very common in India. Huh? So some things they do, right? Some yajan they are doing, which is very nice. Huh? Even if you cannot do Aarti, what Krishna is saying, the 4th level, the lowest level in this series, Namaskuru. You do namaskar to me. Huh? So Yamraj also says to Yamdutas in 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 6.3, I think it's 28th or 29th verse, he says, if someone doesn't do even one pranam to Krishna, you bring those souls to me. Bring those souls who haven't done even one pranam to me. But if you do one pranam to Krishna, your ticket is guaranteed back to Godhead. No, may not be immediately in that, but ticket is guaranteed. One day you will reach back, because it all starts from there. Our acharyas also explain in Namaskuru, you should do pranam to Krishna without any ego. You should not have any ego. I am the president of this country. I am, this, I'm very intelligent. I'm the most senior person in this community and all that. No, when you do pranam to Krishna, you do pranam without any ego attached, without any body identification. You do full Dandvat pranam or Panchang pranam for Matajis, but no ego involved. No ego involved. Then that pranam is very powerful. In Vishnu Puran, in Padma Puran is mentioned, if you do one pranam to a installed Vishnu deity, all the reactions of your past karma gets annihilated just by doing one pranam. I was listening some lecture somewhere, some devotee, I can't remember anyway. So he was saying the Prabhupada organized this morning programs, from Mangala Aarti, chanting, Tulsi Aarti, class and Prasadam. It involves, out of 64 limbs of Bhakti mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, 48 limbs. 48 limbs already. So if you attend one morning program, you have actually performed 48 types of devotion out of 64 right there in one hit in few hours. So beautiful. And devotees are supposed to do every day. So imagine how this devotee will become so strong after years and years of austerity. And other 16 you will do here, like for example, Ram Navami fasting. That you will do on Ram Navami and Janmashtami and all those things. So 4 levels Krishna is saying, and so it is very inclusive statement. You can do something for Krishna. Now, Arjuna is still thinking, because Krishna said to Arjuna in 63rd verse, Vimeshyedet asheshena. You think about it, and Krishna is opening his heart more and more. And now Arjuna is thinking, this is what our acharyas are explaining, that okay, I understand all this, but there's so many things to do. There's so many dharmas to follow. I'm still not very clear. So Krishna gives his final, what do you call ikka in English? I don't know. I'm not a card person, but you know that ikka, I think when ikka comes, everyone steps back. So this is that final card Krishna puts on the table and say, okay, here it is. Now, who will read this? This is one of the most famous. Akhand Rasa Prabhu ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
This is the first verse you learn in ISKCON, isn't it? As soon as you enter into that premises, I'm sure you will get to hear this verse. Okay, please, Prabhu.
I think, as you said, it's the final court, Supreme Court ruling.
Supreme Court ruling. After this, no more.
There is no appeal after that.
No appeal after that. You don't need to appeal after that. You got everything. Okay, let's see.
1866. Sarva dharman parityajya.
Sarva dharman parityajya.
Mam ekam sharanam vraja.
Mam ekam sharanam vraja.
Aham tvam sarva papebhyo.
Aham tvam sarva papebhyo.
Mokshishyami ma shuchah.
Mokshishyami ma suchah.
Translation. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So now, Sarva Dharmanu Parityaja. I'll just quickly translate. So, Sarva, every Dharma, Parityaja. Why Krishna is not using Tyaja? He's saying Parityaja. Parityaja and Tyaja. What's the difference? Completely giving up. Not just giving up for the lip service. Oh, yes, I have given up. Many devotees are listening something yesterday. They convert from one religion to another religion, then they come back sometimes they go to another one. They just change religion like a hobby. So giving up one thing today and then adopting something else tomorrow. We're saying parityaja. Now, anyone remembers verse 4.8? Everyone knows that. 4.8. But I'm asking some questions. You can unmute yourself. Say, fatafat. 4.8. This is one of the most popular verses in India.
4.8 is Paritranaya Sadhuna.
Sadhuna, yeah. आगे
आगे सर्व
धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय. All glories to B.R. Chopra. At least he made us remember 2 verses when we were young, at least 2 verses. So what does Krishna say there? 4.8. I come here to establish dharma. But what Krishna is saying now in 1866, Sarv Dharmanu Parityaja. And say, what Krishna? You are contradicting yourself. Somewhere in Bhagavad Gita, you say, sir, you come to establish dharma. And now you're telling me, you coming here to establish dharma because dharma was lost. Now you're telling me to give up all the dharma. What does it mean? So how do we prove this is not a contradiction by Krishna? Krishna cannot make a mistake. We make mistake. Oh, sorry, Prabhu. Sorry, what I said yesterday was not correct. I didn't mean this. Just a slip of a tongue, blah, blah, blah. Krishna cannot do all this. Krishna is perfect. He is aparushaya. That's why his writings are perfect. Our writings are not perfect. So Sarva Dharmanu Parityaja. Is it a contradiction first? Okay. Is it clear? It's not a contradiction. Krishna is talking about different levels of dharma. So if you see there are 3 levels of dharma. So first one you can say adharma, then aparadharma and paradharma. So when Krishna says, I come here to establish dharma because we are on an adharmic level, we are on an irreligious level, Krishna comes here to establish aparadharma. Aparadharma refers to Anyone can explain quickly?
That's
Aparadharma.
highest religion.
No, aparadharma.
No, so para is highest religion.
Yeah. But what does apara mean in simple
Lower,
English language?
bodily, any other
Bodily
religion.
Our
dharma.
individuals
Yes, individual
responsibility.
dharma, right? You're an Indian, you're Australian, you're male, female, you're a husband, wife, daughter, you're employee of your army, blah, blah, blah. And there's a dharma involved there. You're supposed to do what the duties are. Yeah? You're getting paid from employer. You're supposed to. Your parents are dependent on you. You're supposed to do all that, right? That's apara dharma. So when Krishna is saying sarva dharmanu parityaja, what Krishna is saying, give up what? Adharma, aparadharma, or paradharma? What is Krishna saying out of these three? Adharma definitely we have to give because Krishna came here for that purpose. So that is established in 4.8 itself, right?
All of the three.
When I come, all of the three, Hare Krishna. ये तो कुछ ज़्यादा ही ऊपर है रूपम प्रभुजी. Okay, let's take it step by step. So aparadharma, giving up. Krishna is not telling because it was already given up, right? And Krishna said, I come here, the yuge every time because I have to. So any unlawful activities, obviously, irreligious activity, we have to give up in the service of Krishna. So we are not talking about aparadharma here. What we are talking about, paradharma we cannot give up, right? Krishna says, Prabhupada ji also said, what does dharma mean? What does dharma mean? In Bhagavatam, Prabhupada says, Save punsa paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshaje ahetuki apratiyata yayatma suprasidati. What does paradharma definition? We cannot give up. What we cannot give up, that's called dharma. And Prabhupada gave example of sugar and mirchi and chili. Sugar, no matter which angle you taste it from, it should be sugar. And if it is not sweet, it's not sugar, it's something else. It may appear to be. And there's a word, fit curry, alum. Alum also looks like mishri. And sometimes, not these days, people used to take alum as mishri and they will die. Because alum is very dangerous. So, and that's why many elderly people used to give example. You are eating alum thinking it's mishri. It's a sweet candy. Like giving example for the life, you're taking a disease and it's like a fit curry. It will kill you. But you think it's mishri, it's very sweet. And we all experience in our life. We think it's a mishri, but it's fit curry. We think it's a sweet candy, but it's a alum. Anyway, so Krishna is parodharma, you cannot quit. Can you quit? Because that's the jiva's constitutional position. That's the definition of dharma. So parodharma, you cannot quit. What you have to quit? Aparadharma. Aparadharma means bodily dharma. Why Krishna is saying that? Because Arjuna is caught up in bodily dharma, isn't it? He is my relative. My body will enjoy. I don't want to do adharma to my society. And all these 5 arguments Arjuna is giving. So Krishna is saying sarva dharmanu parityaj means any aparadharma, any duties to your kula, to your family, to your body, parityaja, give them up. Give them up, because I know it's very confusing, and that's why Arjuna was confused. So Acharya has explained one more thing in the hierarchy, obviously. Sarva dharmans, you give up all the dharma, even if you don't understand the meaning of dharma, but leave one thing open. What is that? Mam ekam sharanam vraja. So you give up all the dharmas, even if you don't understand these 3 definitions, what you do not give up, except one dharma, which is mam ekam sharanam vraja. So sarva dharmanu parityaja. So we are not talking about aparadharma. We are not talking about paradharma. We are talking about, we're not talking about adharma, not parodharma. It is aparadharma, which we have to give up. Now what we have to adopt? Parodharma. What is that parodharma? Mam ekam sharanam vraja. Now this is a very complex line. We'll just analyze it in a simpler terms. Vishnu Thakur explains this line. Now, Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. What basically Krishna is saying, you come and surrender unto me. This is what we read, right? Now, let's break this line. So this Ekam word is very important. Now, Ekam word can go with Mam, or Ekam can also go with Sharanam. Let's put Ekam with Mam here. So who is Mam here? Krishna. So Krishna is saying, Ekam Mam. You surrender to whom? To only one person, me, not to anyone else. So this proves through the Bhagavad Gita, the supremacy of Krishna. So there are 2 things in Nectar of Devotion we'll read. One is called Sadhya, one is called Sadhan. What does Sadhya mean? Where are we going? Sadhan means how we are going. Akhand Rasa Prabhu came to Sydney from a plane, right? By a plane. So Sydney is a Sadhya. And what is the Sadhan? He did not walk from India. He came by, he could have. Maybe he could have, right? But he didn't. What was the sadhan today? Today, I'm just saying today, was a plane. He could have come by ship, he could have, swim and whatever, right? So there can be multiple sadhan to reach to sadhya, but which sadhya is the highest? Mam. So this proves the supremacy of Krishna. Which other verse in Bhagavad Gita proves the supremacy of Krishna? There are many, just tell me one or two. Quick. पीछे आ चुका है. Number.
Aham sarvasya prabhu.
Number.
10.8.
Another verse, 7th chapter. Fatafat. 7th chapter. 7.7. Mattaha. Partaram na anyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. Mattaha partaram na anyat. Mere se upar koi nahi. No one above me. And Parabrahma Paramdhama 10.12 and 13 given by Arjuna. Anyway, so Mam Ekam. So what is Bhagavad Gita is proving? Krishna is the supreme sadhya. Supreme sadhya. He is the only worshipable one. You give up everything. No demigod worship, no kula worship, this and that. But you take Mam Ekam. That's one sadhya. Now, to achieve that sadhya, like for, again, sorry, Akhand Rasa Prabhu's example, to achieve sadhya of Sydney today, he grabbed the fastest sadhan. Fastest sadhan. What was that? An aeroplane, for example. Fastest sadhan. So, what is the fastest sadhan to achieve Krishna? Sharanam. Ekam Sharanam. So, Ekam can come with Sharanam. So, Sharanam is the highest sadhan. So, out of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Atma Yoga, what is the highest sadhan to achieve Krishna? Is Bhakti Yoga. In Bhakti Yoga, what you do? Surrender completely yourself to Krishna. Right? So this line, just 3 words actually you can say, Mam, Ekam, Sharanam. So Ekam, Mam, the only sadhya is who? Ekam Devo, Devaki Putra, Eko. So Devaki Putra is the only personality of Godhead. There's no one else. And once you worship this Devaki Putra, this Krishna, everything is already inside him. So you're not excluding any of him, but you're just worshipping Krishna. And by worshipping Krishna, actually you respect everyone. And how do you achieve that sadhya? By Sharanam, by taking absolute shelter, not lip service. Lord Ram, when Vibhishan came to take shelter of Lord Ram, and other army people were not very happy, and they're saying, you should kill Vibhishan, we should bind Vibhishan, and we should do this and that to Vibhishan. But Lord Ram, what verse Lord Ram said? Sakrad eva prapannoyam tav asmai itiyach. Sakrad eva. Sakrad. Eval ek bar. Even if one sakrad prapanna. Prapanna means surrender. Sharanam. Same thing. Same thing Lord Ram is saying. Sakrad eva prapannoyam tav asmai. Krishna, I am yours. Lord Ram, I am yours. Just say this. Iti yachate. Yachate, yachna kara. Krishna, I am yours. Please accept me. And what does Lord say? Dadami sarvada abhayam. I will give him abhayam. Abhayam is fearlessness. We are all fearful. And how long I will give him fearless? Sada. Vratam mama. This is my vrata. So Lord Ram is saying, it's my vow to protect you for full life. Krishna is saying, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Same line. Lord Ram and Krishna saying the same thing. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Even if you think there is some pap involved in this activity, what is the activity which may have pap involved? Sarva dharmanu parityaja. You may have, suppose, elderly parents in home. Again, not immaturely, we should take all this like Jayapataka Maharaj just comes to my mind, and there's many more, right? He took sannyas at the age of 17 or 18, right? He left his worldly duties, but for a lower purpose or higher purpose? For a higher purpose. When you leave your duties for a lower purpose, actually, if you go from aparadharma to adharma, is it good? Aparadharma to adharma. Not good at all. Then you better stick to aparadharma. That's why they say, even if your household life or wherever you are, you stick to your dharma, because right now you're not ready to follow paradharma. So what you say? You follow the commitments. Don't go down. You go up. So from aparadharma to adharma, very bad. But from aparadharma to parodharma, Maharaj taking sannyas, for example, he has duties for his nation, for his parents, for his friends, and blah, blah, blah. He left everything and surrendered himself to Krishna. Now, no more. And Krishna says, even if you think some pap is, many parents sometime, say, Kya, you become ISKCON brahmachari. What, so much I have done for you. What are you doing for me? This and that. You have some dharma or no? No, they have dharma, but they have adopted a higher dharma. So they have not become papi. They have not become a sinner by adopting a higher dharma. But actually, they have transcended that dharma. And this is what Krishna is saying. But if you cannot do that, what you should do? Glide down to adharma. Sab chhod diya. Hippies have also done adharma, actually, right? They have quit their dharma. They were having drugs and alcohol and all those things on the street. They have given up all the dharma. But Prabhupada got them from adharmic level to parodharma level. Huh? This was the potency of Prabhupada. But usually how it was from adharma to aparadharma and from aparadharma to paradharma. Because when we stick to aparadharma properly and we practice parodharma, one day we'll have, enough strength to follow parodharma all the time. And then in that stage, Krishna says, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. I'll take away all the sin. There may be some involved. You may have some hesitation and doubts. Don't worry about it. Is this making sense? Mam ekam shana. So, supreme sadhya, supreme sadhan. Now, vraja. This is a very secret word here. What does vraja mean? So Prabhupada write go, which is correct. Vraj mane. Vraj means to go. And vraj means Vishnu Chakra Thakur says, come to Vrindavan. Haribol, come to Vrindavan. So Krishna is saying, come to Vrindavan, come to Vrindavan, come to Vrindavan. So you surrender into me. So Krishna had like given the whole thing. Sometimes people say, we are rasik. We don't like reading Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is also a rasik book, actually, if you start reading it. And I'll tell you a few more things. So Vraja means you come to Vrindavan. Which verse in Bhagavad Gita represents Radharani? There's only one verse Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said, and I've explained that.
I think in 9th chapter.
13th verse, Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Devim Prakriti Mashutaha. Devi refers to Srimati Radharani. Which verse in Bhagavad Gita uses the same word for Prakriti? Same word for Prakriti.
7th chapter.
714. Devi Heshai Gurmai Mama Maya Duratya. So there the Devi word is used for Maya. And in 913 is used for Srimati Radharani. And another verse which represents gopis in Bhagavad Gita. Which verse? Bhaktivinoda Thakur. This is all Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Is nothing to me. I have heard it. I am just repeating it. Apiche suduracharo bhaste mam ananya bhag shipram bhavati dharmata shashwat santin nigachati. So apiche suduracharo. So gopis apparently were doing sudurachar, isn't it? Gopis, a chaste wife in Vedic culture, wife chastity is considered the highest. And if she goes to meet another person in the middle of the night, what you will call that lady as per Vedic culture, not as per modern culture, what do you call? Sudurachar. Very abominable activity. The Dhobi washerman in Ramayana, what did he say to his wife? I am not Ram, whose wife is, was living outside 1 year and he still accepted. You have lived outside one night, I cannot accept you. And that's the blame that Dhobi had. Anyway, different interpretation. So here Vraja means go to Vrindavan. So Krishna is saying, you surrender only unto me, take shelter of Vraja, and then Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo. Sarva Papebhyo. I will get rid of all the sins. Even if you think there's no sin, but if you think there are some sins, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. Mokshishami Masucha. Now let's give some examples from Bhagavatam for this verse. So can anyone say which devotee surrendered to Krishna and his papas was taken away? You can just say quickly.
Jagai
Madai, thank you. They took shelter of Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the papas. What's the example, Prabhu, Rupam Prabhu, of this instance that their papas was taken away?
The color of Nityananda Prabhu's
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Jagai Madai, and apparently his body became black. Apparently. Now, Lord's body cannot become black, but just to show a leela that all the papas have been transferred. So even if you see physically examples, another example, someone else can say. Apiche Sudurachara, Gopis example. Gopis did so-called apparently Sudurachar, right? So there will be some papa involved in that. And Krishna says, Aham Tvam Sarupapebhya Mokshishami Masucha. Yagya Patnis from Srimad Bhagavatam. They also violated the order of their husbands, right? And they said to Krishna, because we did not follow the order of our husband, we cannot go back. And Krishna says, don't worry about it. You go back, right? So we saw husbands actually appreciated the wife. Oh, to hell with our knowledge. With the knowledge, we could not please the Lord. We are doing big yagyas, but we could not please the Lord. We see Ahilya Devi. Lord Ram touched the head of Ahilya and she comes back to life. She's been waiting there for millions of years for Lord Ram. So many examples. Vijay Gopi Mataji, another example.
Yes, Prabhu, Of even spiritual master, representative of Krishna, and when we take initiation under spiritual master,
Yes.
sins are reduced as well.
Thank
I mean,
you,
not
Mother.
completely eradicated, but
Yes.
most.
Yes, very, very good example. So when we surrender, Diksha Kale Shishya Kare Atma Samarpan. So in the Diksha Kal, in the initiation ceremony, when the Shishya Kare Atma Samarpan. Yeah? So when Krishna does Atma Samarpan, so Krishna, I forgot the second line, this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Krishna Kare that Bhakta Atma Sam. So Krishna's Bhakta ko svikar. Krishna accepts that devotee because he has done the surrender. Now he does not look back, oh, you are a dakat and this and that. He doesn't look at that. Example of that, Vijay Gopi Mataji, one example. When someone took initiation, then nothing, no looking back. Two famous examples. Valmiki, Mragari. Narad Muni initiated both of them. Extremely cruel personalities. Mragari killing animals. Valmiki killing Brahmanas. Only Brahmanas. He will not hunt anyone else. Huh? He had actually a vow that I will only kill Brahmanas with a thread. So he starts to be second initiated. Suppose you are in Satyuga, you will never take second initiation. What if Valmiki comes, huh? So this Ratnakar Daku will kill Brahmanas like anything. Okay, Mohit Prabhuji, sorry, you said some example.
Yudhishthira Maharaj, like when Lord asked him to say a lie, but he don't want to, but
so he hesitated actually.
Yeah.
That's actually a contrary example. Huh?
Okay.
So he hesitated. So he did not want to lie.
He
Because
didn't want to, yeah.
He didn't want to. So he said,
But Krishna said, if you're doing it for me, you can do it also.
Yes, but he hesitated. He hesitated. So what has happened is a Yudhishthira Maharaj Rath will never touch the ground. But after this incident, his Rath came down. So Karmis explain, because he lied, his Ratha came down. But the Vaishnavas explain, no, he hesitated to speak what Krishna said. Like he did not properly follow the order of Krishna. That's how his Rath came down. Not because he lied. There's no lie. Krishna is saying, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. Whatever Krishna says, that's Dharma. Isn't it?
And
so,
Arjun and Pandavas, like, because they are friends, but they are, playing and doing all this thing. But like, we talk about Yagyapatnis when they say they didn't follow the instruction of a husband. But when Pandavas are playing with Krishna, as a friend and in different mood. But that's also, Krishna forgives us.
Yes, yes. So many things in Mahabharata they say immorally
Can
happened.
we say Kaliya as well, Prabhu?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Because he offended, but Krishna
He
forgave.
offended, yeah, and all that. Okay. Okay, that's fine. But we get different
Indra.
picture, right? Yeah, I'm saying you get the idea. There's so many examples of this verse. So this verse is a living verse. It's not just a verse which needs to be, just in the books. So it's a living verse. So this verse gives us a lot of inspiration to go ahead and surrender to Krishna. Again, under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. We should not prematurely jump on the stairs. We may fall down.
It's a verse to remember, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. I'm sure everyone knows this one. Now, one more thing before we go ahead. In this verse, the beautiful process of surrender is written by Bhakti Thakur, which again he has taken from Hari Bhakti Vilas. So we'll quickly read. All of you have already written in your assignments. We'll just quickly explain. This is a very big verse, but we'll just explain quickly. So Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishyati iti vishvasho goptvatve varnam tatha. So there's 6 steps of surrender which Bhakti Thakur is talking. So Anukulyasya sankalpa. Anukul, whatever is anukul, what is favorable to our bhakti. If eating lot of prasadam is favorable to the bhakti, you eat lot of prasad. I'm saying honestly, if singing is uncool to your bhakti, you sing. If breaking Ekadashi is important to your bhakti, if speaking lie, if Krishna is saying a special is speaking lie is increasing to your bhakti, you do that. So whatever is uncool. So uncool cannot be a frozen definition. So it can be, if wearing jeans, for example, is increasing the bhakti, do that. And I'm giving example live because many times devotees go to club and bars and they distribute books. Sankirtan devotees, they go out and they don't go in dhoti and kurta there. They go in the same dress and somehow they try to connect with people. So whatever is anukul. And again, who will decide that? Not our mind. That's not a good standard, because our mind will say anything. Okay, Hemanga Chaitanya Prabhu said last night, anything is fine. No, Anukul has to be done again. Bona fide instruction should be there. Pratikulya se again, whatever is pratikul for your bhakti. Sometime even vegetarianism can be pratikul to your bhakti. One Mataji disciple of Prabhupada, she explained, when I came to temple initially, she will not eat halwa because halwa had ghee and she was vegan. So for many months at least, she said, my vegetarianism, my veganism, stopped me to adopt this bhakti lifestyle. So sometimes these things can also. One time, Prabhupada asked one person, one of his disciples, to go to Russia and preach. And this person said to Prabhupada, but Prabhupada, there's no vegetarian food there. So you know what Prabhupada said? Eat meat and preach. Now, don't take this statement as an ultimate absolute statement. Prabhupada said that to his devotee. Now, he was not encouraging meat eating, but what he was saying, preaching is so important that even if you have to compromise sometime somewhere, preaching is more important. One time, Prabhupada went to in India, in someone's house, this Mataji Prabhuji, very, very respectable persons, very loving to Prabhupada, but they put this onion garlic in the sabji. Prabhupada accepted it. But later when he came back, he chastises his disciples. Why did you not tell them to not put onion and garlic? So it's not their fault. He accepted their love. He ate it. He knew it, but he accepted it. Now, it doesn't mean we go and out and accept it. It's Prabhupada. But the principle is he's chastising his disciple not to inform them, not blaming them. He accepted their love because that time, accepting their love was more important than saying, okay, you make this sabji and I can't eat it. So Prabhupada accepted. So sometimes we may have to readjust few things again with proper guidance. We can do that. That's why Prabhupada said, principles cannot be compromised. Details can vary. Details can vary. If you, Indradu Maharaj, recently I heard a class from Maharaj. He mentioned very nicely and he was laughing. Maybe 30 years ago, he used to go to Russia to preach. So he said, from one country, he caught a flight. And at the airport in that country, he bought a big wig for his head because he has shaven head. No? So he purchased a wig at the airport. And he said, Indur Maharaj is speaking, he also bought 2 bottles of wine. He said Guinea or vodka or something. He said, I can't remember. And he put in a suitcase just in case they catch me. And if they see bottle of wine in my suitcase, they will definitely let me go. It's an authenticated Russian tourist. In Russia, vodka is like water. To prove yourself authenticated, Maharaj said, and he's laughing at it. He said, I should not say it public, but I'm telling it. He's telling in manner when Keshav Maharaj sannyas ceremony. If someone wants to double check. So Keshav Maharaj sannyas ceremony in June 22, if I'm not wrong. So you can go and check. So Maharaj said, I bought a wig for my head and I bought two bottles of wine and put in my suitcase so that they let me go. So this is how devotees used to do, because this is called paradharma. It's not adharma, it's paradharma this time. So wine is absolutely bad, but this time here, wine helped Maharaj to get inside the country so that he can do his paradharma. So we have to again understand what is ankur and what is pratikul. It's not a frozen word in the dictionary. Rakshasati iti vishwas. So devotee always have this vishwas that Krishna will always protect me in all circumstances. Krishna will never leave me. Now this is a big line, but this is the vishwas Krishna has. Now out of these 6 elements of surrender, first 2 elements of surrender are in action terms. Next 4 elements are in emotional terms. So this is what we do. This is what we feel. So this is internal. This is external. External, like you have to stop eating something, for example, or start eating something. Stop eating meat. Start taking prasadam. So this is action. This is emotion. So what's the emotion? The first emotion of the devotee is Krishna will always protect me no matter what. I am never alone. I'm never left out. I'm never so sinful that Krishna will say, I hate you. Never like that. So Rakshasiti iti vishwaso. Vishwas, faith is there. Goptratve varnam tatha. Goptratve varnam tatha means Krishna is my ultimate maintainer. So some person can give me some money, some person can give me some fame, some person can assist me in doing my bodily activities when I'm sick. But ultimate maintainer is Krishna. Prabhupada, when he was going in Jalduta, he's writing in his diary when Sumati Moraji has arranged, some cereals and vegetables for Prabhupada's journey. So he's saying, thank you to Krishna for inspiring Sumati Moraji for making good arrangements for me. So he's thanking ultimately to Krishna. And obviously, so if some devotee comes and helps you, we definitely accept his help, right? His or her help. But we see who has inspired this person to come and help me. And I have experience in my life. One day I was super sick and some devotee come with a plate of prasadam at my door. I'm like, wow, how do anyone in the world will know this? Krishna inspired this devotee. Literally, I never told anyone. He just knocked the door. I am here. Okay, welcome. And big plate of prasadam. Like, okay, Krishna. I'm just giving a very small example, but so Krishna inspired in this devotee's heart to come. He never came to my place ever in my life. And probably he never came like this. Like people come and ring. That day he never ring nothing. He just appeared on my door. Like, okay, thank you. So very small example, but Krishna inspires. And I have experienced many times in my life. Krishna helps. Krishna helps. Now, the more we have this faith, the better we are situated. Okay, so that's the fourth element. Atmanikshep. Atmanikshep means Krishna is not only my maintainer, Krishna is my everything. Maintainer means in terms of I expect something. But here, Atmanikshep, I surrender everything to Krishna. There's nothing beyond Krishna for myself. Krishna is my everything. And last thing is Karpanya. Karpanya refers to with utter humility, not with pride. Krishna, look at me, how great devotee I am. I have quit so many things, Krishna. One Prabhupada disciple came to Prabhupada. He was a rich person and he was giving his wealth to Krishna. And he said to Prabhupada, you should not say these things to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, I surrender everything to Krishna. He said, don't worry about everything, just surrender the I. So we say, I surrender everything. And Prabhupada said, don't worry about everything. That is Krishna's anyway, right? Tumhara kya hai? What is yours? He said, don't worry about everything, surrender I. And many times, believe me or not, we surrender everything, but we never surrender everything anyway. We only surrender a little bit. Even in that, we get pride. I gave $10,000, Prabhuji, $50,000. 50 in the new temple construction. Or I gave $50, $5, whatever illusions. And then we never get rid of this I. So Prabhupada said, take this I out, everything is fine. So one statement, I don't know how bona fide it is. It said, Lord Ram said for Raman. So someone said to Lord Ram, you killed Ravan. So in Hindi, he says. So Ram said, मैंने रावण को नहीं मारा, मैंने रावण को मारा. मैंने means I did not kill Ravan. It's the I. Because Ravan was like, you going to fight with me, Ravan, or you just manav? Ravan has so much pride, so many people. Duryodhan also same thing. So Ram said, मैंने रावण को नहीं मारा, मैं quotes ne Ravan ko mara. मैं ego. So we all have to leave this ego. Everything else belongs to Krishna only. So what are you going to give Krishna's things to Krishna? My $50,000. Arey bhai, when did you get this $50,000 in the womb of your mother? Krishna only gave you. So beautiful. So Karpanya with utter humility. So whenever we do these things or are part of these things, we should be very humbly performing the devotion. Krishna, thank you for giving me opportunity to perform some devotional service. Not that I am so great and I am doing your seva. Okay, so with that attitude, it says bhakti is always about the attitude. Okay, now Krishna will give the Shruti Phal. Shruti Phal means what's the sort of benefit of this. So let's read that. Who will read? Who hasn't read it? Deva Mataji, would you like to read one?
Yes, sir. Idam tena tapaskaya.
Idam tena tapaskaya.
Na bhaktya kadachana.
Na bhaktaya kadachana.
Na cha shur shave vachyam.
Na cha shushrave vacham.
Na cha mam yo bhayasyati.
Na cha mam yo abhyasuyati. So you can break the word, Mataji. So na cha, that's one word. If you can look in Hindi, I think you read Hindi. Na cha shu. Shu shushrave. So shushrave is seva. Shushush. Seva shushushu is a Hindi word. Obviously comes from Sanskrit. So you can, and this is abhyasuyati. This is used in earlier in Bhagavad Gita as well. Abhyasuyati means you're not envious. Okay, yeah, we can read.
Translation. This confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, not to one who is envious to me. Thank you.
Okay, so now when we are giving Shruti Phal, So first thing, Krishna sort of warns Arjuna. So I have explained you very, very confidential knowledge. So this confidential knowledge should not be spoken with 4 people. So what are the 4 categories? Na tapaskaya. Tapaskaya words from tapasya, austere. So one who is not austere, please don't speak to this knowledge. To him this knowledge. Na bhaktaya. He is not a bhakta. Prabhupada writes he is not engaged in devotional service. So he is not doing any devotional service. Na cha shushruve. Shushruve, again, seva. He is not involved in seva. He is not a devotee. He is not an austere person. And abhyasuyati. And he is envious of me. So if you see these 4 categories, do not speak this knowledge. Now you will say, whom should I speak this knowledge with then? Huh? Everyone is already covered. Like we are one of this category. Either we are abhakta, we are not austere, we are not doing seva, or we are envious. Huh? At different levels or different mixture of it, right? So whom should we speak? Now Acharya has explained the word idam is very important. Idam refers to not the whole Bhagavad Gita, it refers to the Guhyatamam knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, which refers to 1866. So idam refers to just the previous verse, and that's the connection. That verse you do not explain because they will not understand. What is the 9th offense? Namaparad, which we read in the morning. Do not explain the glories of the holy name. You can teach the holy name. Chant Hare Krishna, but don't spend the glories. Oh, Ajamil chanted one Naam on the deathbed and he went back to God, and they'll laugh at you. Huh? Because they are not in that position to understand that depth of it. So, idam refers to the most confidential knowledge. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yomim bhaktya prakshati. Don't tell on day 1. Once Prabhupada, the disciple came to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, how do I explain there were 10 billion gopis with Krishna dancing in one night? And Prabhupada said to him, is this the only thing in Bhagavatam you have to tell to others? Huh? Why you have to tell this thing? There's so many things in Bhagavatam. Huh? So again, as an expert preacher, we should know what to preach to this person. What to preach to this person. On the day 1, you cannot give everything. Huh? So slowly they will become more mature and they will be able to understand. Okay. 68. Who will read?
I can read, Prabhu, if it's
Please,
okay.
Mata. Yeah.
Verse 68. Ya idam paramam guhyam.
Ya idam paramam guhyam.
Madbhakteshu abhidasyati.
Madbhaktvesh abhidhasyati.
Bhaktim mayi param krutva.
Bhaktim mayi param kritva.
Mame vaishyati asanshayah.
Mam e vaishyati ashanshayah.
Translation. For one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me.
Thank you, Mata. So this is one of the most beautiful verses in Bhagavad Gita. So ya idam paramam guhyam. So idam refers to what? Anyone can say? The answer is actually given in the verse itself. Tell me the verse number. Idam refers to. I just said it. 1865-66. Isn't it?
The most
Why?
confidential knowledge?
Yes, it's a paramam guhyam. It's the most confidential knowledge which we just discussed. Ya idam paramam guhyam. If you explain this knowledge to whom? Mad bhakteshva. Very clearly Krishna is saying to whom we should discuss this? Mad bhakteshva. So do not discuss with 4 categories, but discuss with whom? Mad bhakteshva. Which verse in Bhagavad Gita comes to closest with this word? Mad bhaktesh. Abhidhashati means explain, discuss. Which verse in Bhagavad Gita? Everyone knows that verse. Jaldi, jaldi.
One of the verse for memory also, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay. I don't know that one. Rupam Prabhu and all you guys know. Exam is coming soon. And you will talk about exam later. Just relish the Bhagavad Gita for now. Manmohan Prabhuji, do you remember which verse in Bhagavad Gita comes closest to this one? This line. When I will say, everyone will say, I know that one.
1868.
10.9.
10.9. Thank you, Mohit Prabhu. 10.9. And what's the verse? Machita madgata prana bodhayantaha parasparam kathayantra shamam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Thank you, Mohit Prabhu. He's very humble, but he knows a lot. So
You will see my result.
you always say that you get good marks. So mad bhakti chabdas. Now another question: if your bhakta is there, you're preaching to bhakta only? There's another question, right? Now, so Prabhu, what's the answer? You're teaching to bhakta, so how are you going to do preaching to non-devotees? How do you sort of understand this line here? Anyone? Jaldi, jaldi. Krishna has used a mad bhaktvesh abhidhashati. To my devotees you discuss. They are already devotees. Where's the preaching?
To increase the faith, Prabhu? To
increase the
more.
faith. Yes, you are very
They've
close.
already got faith, but to make it
Yes.
stronger.
So actually Bhakta here refers to potential devotees who have a positive mindset towards Krishna. And for the envious, he says, don't worry about it. Right? So in the previous word, Abhisuyati word was used. Here he's saying Mad Bhaktesh. Mad Bhaktesh refers to two levels. One who is a potential devotee. So potential devotees you preach, right? And to the devotee, as Mata said, you increase the faith. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is hearing Dhruv Maharaj Katha 108 times. To the Brahmana, he says, please say again, please say again, please say again. Why? Shraddha to prema. This all the stages have shraddha, have faith. But prema, the shraddha, the faith is very, very strong, like a banyan tree. Huh? So mad bhaktesh abhidhashati. So we have to understand this line. To positive attitude people, potential devotees, or to our devotees, you explain. And devotee, they talk. Devotee to potential devotees, we talk. But not the idam. Idam, don't preach that. Not yet. Not yet. Bhakti mai param kratva. So if you do that, what will be the result? Two results are there. Param Bhakti you will receive. So my Param Bhakti is transcendental Bhakti, not the Mishrit Bhakti. So another Bhakti, 8th chapter, if you remember, we read different types of Bhakti, Yoga Mishrit Bhakti, Gyan Mishrit Bhakti, where Bhakti is not 100%. What is the definition of Bhakti as per Rupa Goswami? Anya Bhilash Shunyam Gyan Karma Navartam. So that is called Param Bhakti, which we'll read later. So that Param Bhakti you will receive. What else you will receive? Mame Veshati. So not only you will receive Param Bhakti and Krishna will say, okay, see you later, bye. Have fun in the material world. No. Mame Veshati, you will come back to me. Ashanshayaha. Have no doubt in it. So Krishna very nicely saying, if you preach this knowledge to the potential devotees, or you discuss my katha between other devotees, you will get my Param Bhakti. Although you don't have it, but by doing that, you will get it. So that's why Prabhupada said, we should not become the pure devotee then starts preaching, right? We should preach. Preaching is a part of our sadhana. As we chant 16 rounds, we read Bhagavad Gita, we do some devotional service. So preaching is also. And what do we preach? Prabhupada said, whatever you know, you preach about Krishna. Whatever you know. The little Saraswati was saying, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. That's preaching. He's saying, all you big Vedic scholars, you don't know is the supreme personality of Godhead. Here, 5-year-old girl knows Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. That's preaching. That's a big thing. Krishna is the sadhya, biggest sadhya. So two benefits will happen to that person. Let's look at another person who said, I cannot preach. Okay, let's read that. 69. Who will read? Raghi Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Nacha tasman manusyeshu kaschin me priya kritmana
Kashin me priya krittamaha
bhavita nacha me tasmad anyaha priyataro bhuvi Translation. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear.
So Krishna's heart is just overflowing with love, and he's saying, if you do that, you'll get Param Bhakti, you'll come back to me. And not only that, he says, Nacha Tasman Manusheshu. So out of all the Manushas, who does that, which is 1868, talking about Krishna to others, Kashin me Priyakritama, there is no other person who is as dear to me as that person who's preaching the message. And he's saying, okay, today you're making this statement, tomorrow you'll change your statement. So many times in the material world, we say, I love you, this and that. And next day, next hour, next minute, the statement changes. Krishna is making sure, he's assuring us, my statement will be always like that. Bhavita means in bhavishya, in future. Nacha me tasmad. Anya priyatara. Priyatara refers to, you remember, Priya, Priyatara, Priyatama. Radharani uses this word many times, Priyatama, because Krishna is most dear to Srimati Radharani, and same for Radha to Krishna. So he's saying, Priyatara, there will no one else who will be more dear to me than that person who is preaching my message to devotees and to potential devotees. So it's a very beautiful assurance of Krishna, 1868 and 69. Yes, Manmohan Prabhuji.
Just a question here, like not everyone is like very good in speaking, and
Yes,
not everyone would be able to preach in their
absolutely.
lifetime. They may not get an opportunity, but
Yes,
they may be very sincere devotees.
yes,
And then Krishna is saying, but those who are actually preaching are the
most
most
dear.
dear to me.
Yes,
What about the
yes,
position of others who are still wanting to serve, but
yes.
may not get the opportunity or may not be, that good in preaching?
Yes, they may not have that skill set. Very good question, Prabhuji. It's a very practical question. So let me give you one example. When an army fights from another army, so is the only soldiers fighting of that country? Who will support the soldiers? Just imagine there are cooks involved, there are doctors involved, there are truckies who take the weapons and the food and all those things. So many nurses are involved. So when the army fights, when another army is not the army is fighting, but other staff is all. If the food supply gets stopped, for example, the truck cannot take the weapons to the soldiers. Can they fight with the other army? So it's always a teamwork. It's never like, I am speaking, then I am the preacher. It's nothing like that. When you go to Hare Krishna temple, for example, there are so many people who are involved in preaching. For example, when a pujari is doing, Abhishek of the Lord, I'm remembering His Grace Satya Sen Prabhu. He told me, and maybe others as well, when he went to Hare Krishna temple for the first time, he saw Abhishek of Lord. And he said, Bas mera dil udhar hi reh gaya. My heart was lost there. Huh? So these pujaris were not speaking to this Satya Sen Prabhu that time, directly at least, right? By doing their activity, they decorate the deities so beautifully. And then when you come out, you get the most beautiful prasadam of the world, of the three worlds. Huh? You may love the deities or not, you may love the devotees or not, but doubtlessly you love the prasadam. Prem Sagar Prabhu has produced, 50 different dishes with so much love. ये भी लो, ये भी लो, ये भी लो, ये भी लो, घर भी लेके जाओ. Huh? Take home as well, huh? They not only feed you, they take you in the dabbas and they sometimes put in a bag as well and they give you, take it home, take it. Prabhu, nahi chahiye, I don't want it. There's no one in the, no, please take, distribute. Where else are you going to get this love? So is he not preaching? So preaching means everyone is preaching. Now, there may be some people who are good in speaking. Some people may be good in deity worship. Some people good in cooking. Everyone preaches. That's why one devotee said, I forgot the name. He said, we should preach all the time, but speak when required. So even when you, Prabhuji, walk in the temple, people look at you. Huh? What are you dressing? How are you walking? How are you talking to other people? How are you bowing down to deities? People look at you and everyone, People, so every activity you do, even on the road, suppose Bhakti Rasan Maharaj gave this beautiful example. If you're wearing dhoti kurta, you cannot go to the cinema house, although you want to. Just one example, right? Because you are wearing dhoti kurta, if someone sees you, Are, you Hare Krishna, Manmohan Prabhu? No, I'm not saying to you, but तुम पिक्चर देखने आए हो maybe you went like once in 20 years but you will get caught because of your dress. You are very distinguished person there, so you will never enter into the cinema house, at least in that dress, right? So you're preaching Prabhuji all the time. You're in Buli sometime, I'm entering into a bus and bus driver says Hare Krishna. I'm like, who is this guy? So preaching is every time, everything you do, but speaking is so when you're talking about this preaching here, it's a whole team which is involved. Everyone assists you to become a devotee. Everyone, not only one class which you hear, but why the preachers are put at the forefront? Because who gets the bullet first? Does the cook get the bullet? Doctor get the bullet? Nurse get the bullet? Or truckies? That the soldier is going to get the bullet. So that's why sometimes he has given the most importance, because he is the one who is taking the bullet on his chest. He's at the forefront. So you, when you go out in preaching, people will sometimes misunderstand you, may say bad things to you. You are doing book distribution, for example. People will say bad to you, not to the cook of the temple, not to the pujari of the temple. So sometimes from that perspective, preachers are put the highest because they get the first bullet. And many times you would have experienced as well. I have, people say the things which you don't expect. You expect some humility. Anyway, and that's also fun. This is a job. One drunk lady walked in and started literally saying very, very bad things to Maharaj. I still remember that. We were just standing, not doing anything. She had some issue. Maharaj was completely cool and calm. No problem. Like if I was there, I would be like looking at the person with a different attitude. Anyway, yes, Maharaj, completely cool, huh? So now, because Maharaj gave class, and after the class, we were just attending the Aarti. He was just standing, having darshan. Not said one word to this lady before or after. Just looked at the lady, and that's fine, no problem. So they get the bullets. They get the bullets. So that's why sometimes they are put the foremost, but it's the whole team who is preaching. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
A mother who's looking after the kids, looking after the house, she's also a big preacher. Huh? She's giving the education to the kid. She's maintaining the cleanliness of your house. So when someone walks in your house, he says he is impressed or she's impressed with the cleanliness of your house. So she's also a preacher. She's preaching shlokas to your kids, different activities, but she's not giving class, for example. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all. Everyone is assisting. Okay. And one last thing which comes to my mind, preaching means anything which you do to bring that soul closer to Krishna. Anything. You gave one pakoda to this person on the street, actually you have done a preaching, because this pakoda, this prasadam pakoda will bring this soul closer to Krishna. You're not giving a class to this person. Huh? Hari Nam, that's why it's preaching. Okay, there's so many things to say on that. Thank you, Prabhu, for asking that question. Okay. Someone can say, as Manmohan Prabhu said, actually Krishna is also giving your answer, Manmohan Prabhu. Maybe you can read this 1870. Very nice verse.
Adhyeshyate cha imam
Adhyeshaste cha ya imam
dharmayam samvadamavayo
dharmam samvadamavayoho
jnana tenaham
jnana yagyena tenaham
ishtasyamiti me mati.
ishtasyam iti me matihi.
And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worship me by his intelligence.
So Prabhu, here's one answer by Krishna. If you cannot speak, what you should do? Adhyan karna hai. Adhyeshete. Adhyan means reading. You cannot preach to many people. That's fine. You're a simple person. You can do adhyan. Anyone remembers in Chaitanya Charitamrita one example? A person who was doing this? Kurma Brahman.
Brahman
at Srirangam.
He was doing adhyan. Although he was illiterate, he didn't even know how to hold the book correctly. Still, he was doing the adhyan of Bhagavad Gita. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, your adhyan is most successful because you have understood the message. I may be very scholarly person, but what is the point of that knowledge if my heart is not transformed? That person has done the real adhyan. So if you cannot speak to many people, may not do preaching, adhyan. Adhyesheche chayamam dharmyam samvadam. This samvad, this discussion is what? Dharma samvad. Avayoh means in between you and me. Gyan yagyena tenaham. So you are doing gyan yagya. You are doing yagya. Right now, what are we all doing? Sometimes, people say, why we have to go to Bhakti Shastri class? This is what Krishna is saying. I'm not saying. Gyan yagyena teham ishtasyam iti me meti. In my opinion, you are doing a gyan yagya. So you are worshipping me, Prabhupada writes, with your intelligence. Actually, 2 hours every week, we come together. Whatever little we can understand with our limited intelligence, we are trying to read this Bhagavad Gita from Prabhupada's perspective. So as per Krishna, this is a Gyan Yagya. We are involving in a sacrifice every week and we are worshipping Krishna. As we do Aarti on the altar, this is our Aarti. This is our Yagya. So I love this verse because before every class, I say this Jnana Yagya. I'm going to get involved in a yagya. So please help me to perform this yagya for your pleasure. So we should, whenever we speak in any class or any seva, we should say that actually, because Krishna, I'm doing your yagya. If you desire, you can perform this yagya very nicely. Otherwise, who are we to say anything on these verses? Okay, 71. Who hasn't done? Mohit Prabhuji, if you like to do one.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, okay.
Shraddhavan anusayascha
Shraddhavan ansuyascha
shunyat apiyo nara
Shunayat apiyo naraha
sopi mukta subalokan
Sopi muktaha shubhan lokan
prapanyat punya karmanam.
Prapnuyat punya karmanam.
Translation में श्लोक प्रपात कीजिए. And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attains to the auspicious planets where the pious dwell. Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhuji. So Shraddhavan and Suyascha. Now you can say, okay, I don't know how to read and write. I'm a simple village person. Huh? So Krishna says, no problem. What you can do, the third level Krishna is saying, Shraddhavan with Shraddha, Anusuyas means no Anusuya, no envy. If that the mindset, Shunayad, what you can do? Listen. Many devotees do online listening. Huh? That's also a yajna. Huh? So Krishna is saying multiple levels. If you can preach, preach to others, and you're the best. Krishna says that. If you cannot do that, at least read. Reading will be a yajna, jnana yajna. And then if you cannot do that, with the right mindset, you do shunyad api yo naraha. And then what will be the result? So api mukta shubhan lokan. So they will become mukta from this body, and they will achieve Shubhan Lokan, which are achieved by Punya Karmanam, which are achieved by Punya Karmanam. You will achieve the same lokas by listening Bhagavad Gita with this Shraddha and Anusuya mindset. So if you have the right mindset, if you listen Bhagavad Gita, if you listen the glories of Bhagavad Gita, I'm looking at Madhuri Mataji because she has just been explaining the glories in her Bhakti Raksha. There's so many glories of Bhagavad Gita, which Lord Shiva is explaining to Parvati Mata. And if you read, so many stories are there that Vaishya went to this this bull, and she said, I give all the benefit of the Bhagavad Gita. She didn't know Bhagavad Gita, of whatever I hear. And then Bell got revived. Why? So much punya. Now, even that prostitute did not understand what she's hearing. Bell doesn't understand anything at all. Even the result was transferred. Just imagine what is the potency of just listening Bhagavad Gita. Now, obviously, the prostitute was not doing any offense. Huh? And this Tota is speaking first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. That's the first glories of first chapter of Bhagavad Gita explained in Padma Puran. So the point which I'm trying to make here, if you hear Bhagavad Gita with Shraddha, this is the Supreme Lord speaking for my benefit. Just hear with attention what will happen. You will achieve to the planets which are achieved by Punya Karmana. Okay? Yes, Akhandasa Prabhu or Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, I just
Hare
want to
Krishna.
share something very, very inspiring.
Yes, Mataji.
In my mother's last days, like last few months of her life, whenever like I used to visit her for long duration, and every day I would read Bhagavad Gita to her. And she had a carer, nurse, who was a Maharashtrian lady, very pious lady. And I used to read out to my mom in English, Prabhupada's purports and everything. And she would very raptly hear that Gita, whatever I was reading. And I was telling her, oh, I should get Marathi Bhagavad Gita. Probably you don't understand. She said, no, 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 no. You read. I'm really happy to hear it. And with rapt attention, as if she heard every word, she would hear it out. And looking at her, I was feeling, wow, what an amazing, so inspiring this is. And I'll never forget her face and her rapt attention.
Very well. And that's what is needed. It's not the knowledge of the shloka and knowledge of, this and that. One more example comes to my mind. I was in Mayapur once, and Pankajangarahi Prabhu, he was sitting in a Bengali class. Now, he doesn't speak Bengali. He's a British person. He speaks English. Huh? So he was sitting. Someone asked him, Prabhu, why are you sitting in the Bengali class? Huh? And he said, my body doesn't understand the language, but my soul understands. And this person, and he was just a neophyte brahmachari. Now, he is such a senior devotee. Why he has to sit in the neophyte class? He's saying, my body doesn't understand, but my soul understands. And this person in the Vyasasana is speaking the soul's language. When I heard that, I was like so humbled. Sometimes we think, oh, we should not hear this person's class. He is a very young person. Arey, what young and what old? Pankaj Angvi, he's one of the most senior Vaishnavas in ISKCON. And he's sitting in this brahmachari's class, doesn't even understand the language. We understand the language. If we don't understand German and this and that, we'll never go inside the class. He sits in the class as a regulation. He said, like, my soul understands. He's glorifying Krishna. My soul will understand. So very beautiful. Same as your mother. Very nice. Yes, Rupa Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, going back to your example of the Baal and that lady.
Yes.
With
okay.
So if hearing if she is inculcating Sukriti, but because of her profession, won't she lose that as well?
No. There's two different things. One is karma and one is akarma here. So one is karma. Karma means her profession. And this one example, which we heard many times in ISKCON. One prostitute was living in a place, and one Brahman was living opposite to her place. And this Brahman, whole day, he was very scholarly Brahman. And whole day he will curse this Vaishya whenever the customer comes. So he will curse her, what fallen lady she is, and this and that. And one day some Yamdutas came, and he said, Chalo. And Brahman said, are you sure you're at the right address? You should be in the next door, because she's the fallen lady. She's the fallen. Yamdutas looked in their iPad. No, address to sahi hai. My address is right. My boss has given this address only. Invoice is for this address only. Huh? I have to deliver this soul. And he asked why. He said, although Vaishya is doing externally abominable activity, but her mindset is the Brahman is so pious. And Brahman externally, you're doing pious activity. Your Brahman, this person is so fallen. So bhakti is all about attitude. Huh? So the Brahman had to go back to hell, not Godhead. So it's two different things. Sometimes bodily situations we have to adjust. But if our mind is pure, Pingala, 24 gurus of Dattatreya, she was a prostitute. She became devotee overnight. Overnight, she got so much renunciation. Aham tvam sarvapapebhya mokshishami masacha. One instance of remembering, intense remembrance of Vishnu in desperation, she became pure devotee. One instance. And whole life she was doing that work, which is externally not very nice. Is that okay? So it can be separated many times. I'm remembering one Vaishnava who was, and he will not go there, was dealing with meat actually in his life, but he was a pure devotee. Huh? I think he was a Marathi. I can't remember his name. Anyway, it's not Marathi I'm talking about. I'm talking a person who's dealing with a person with a cobbler. He's a pure devotee of Lord. So these things sometimes becomes very external. But it doesn't mean we start getting involved in these activities and say, I am a Hare Krishna. That will become Namaparad. Seventh offense of the holy name. You commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Okay, Mahasa Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I'm sorry if my question is a bit offense, but I just want to understand why Krishna has put this. Why there is like punya karma nam.
Yes.
Like that means he's actually going to a pious planet, right?
Yeah, heavenly planets, yes.
So isn't it a bit odd, like when comparing to Srimad Bhagavatam, that Parikshit Maharaj only heard Srimad Bhagavatam, obviously with love, devotion, everything is there,
Yes.
and then he actually
Yes.
got to Krishna's abode, and then here you
Yeah.
listen to the message of Krishna,
Yeah.
and you actually go to the pious planet. It's not a
Yes.
falashruti in one way.
Yeah. So
I'm
basically,
sorry.
no, that's fine. You have to look at the context, and that's why we have to look at the context. Parikshit Maharaj is a pure devotee. He is listening Bhagavatam. Now here this person is third in the series. If you look at the context here, first he's saying you preach my message. First you say, then you adhyan my message, you understand my message, and then say, even if you cannot do that, you hear my message. The benefit will be there. But obviously in this case, the benefit is the least. But when Parikshit is hearing, he is the highest devotee listening. Huh? So that's why I said there's two words in Mad Bhaktesh Abhidhasyati in the 69th verse. Bhaktesh means a serious devotee or a upcoming devotee or a potential devotee. Huh? So it depends who is hearing with which consciousness. Is that not clear?
Yeah, there's that. But then what about people?
So this
who are
person is not a
listening?
pure devotee, Prabhuji. He's just hearing.
Okay, yeah, it's
He's
not a pure devotee.
No. That's why I'm saying he's a third in the hierarchy.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not a pure devotee.
But what about people who have developed that love for Krishna through
You gave the
Bhagavad Gita?
example of Parikshit Maharaj. You gave the example.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're a pure devotee and you're hearing Srimad Bhagavatam with that consciousness, but what Krishna is saying here, even if you have no like good devotion, this and that, but you have Shraddha in this speaker, the speaker is doing whatever the speaker is saying is very nice. And I don't have any envy towards Krishna. I will get very big benefit. You may have heard, one chore was sitting in a class and hearing this message which with Brahman is giving. Krishna is a very rich person. He wears all the jewels. Now, chore is not a devotee. Huh? But chore had Shraddha in the words of the Brahmana. And with that Shraddha, he went to Vrindavan. Now, Brahman didn't go to Vrindavan. You see, he's a speaking. He is speaking, Mad Bhakdesha Vidhasyati. So who is better here? Chore's consciousness. Sorry, Chore is external, right? But at that time, he didn't get the benefit. When he got the benefit? When he did devotional service to Krishna. So it's a hierarchy, it's a series, it's a journey. Is it okay? So he will get the next step. Chore got the next step in the journey. Now, Chore didn't get Krishna as soon as he arrived, but by his surrender later, by looking at the Krishna. But the point which I'm trying to make, he had faith in the words of Brahman. So he got to the next step very quickly. But Brahman himself didn't have faith in his own words. He was doing as a profession. So it matters. Not anyone hears and you'll get the any result. No. Who is hearing, with what consciousness he is hearing? If I'm speaking, just sorry to say, to increase my glories, I will not get benefit. But if I'm doing as a service to my Guru or Prabhupada, then I'll get much more benefit. If I'm saying, okay, how many followers I have on YouTube? How many people are, hearing me? Actually, that's just a profession then. And that's why I say you should not hear Bhagavatam from professional reciters, although they may look very attractive, but they will not give you too much benefit. And a person who doesn't know too much shloka or Sanskrit, but he may give you love of Godhead because his Shraddha will pass on to you. Is that okay, Prabhu? Okay, let's move forward.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Very nice. Thank you.
That's okay. Last words of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, someone said something.
Can I do that?
Oh, yes, Mataji, please.
Hare.
Hare Krishna. This is the last words from Krishna's mouth in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, Mata.
So, oh, sorry, 18, 17, sorry. Kachit etat shrutum partha
Kachid etat shrutam partha
vayakrena chetasa
tvai ekagrena chetasa
kachit ajnana sammoha
kachid ajnana sammohaha
pranastaste dhyananjaya.
pranastaste dhananjaya.
Translation: O son of Pratha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with your unattentive mind? And are you ignorance? And are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled?
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So now Krishna is speaking this last verse with lot of compassion for Arjuna. He has, given the 650 verses so far, and now he's asking this question to Krishna, to Arjuna. Kachit etam shrutam partha. Hey Partha, dear Arjuna, have you heard this? Now you can say, oh, obviously Arjuna would have heard it. They're sitting on the same chariot. They're so close. No. Just wait a second. Next line is very important. Tvai ekagrena chetasa. Ekagrena, with your complete rapt attention, like Ujjwala Samataji was saying, the mother is hearing Srimad Bhagavad Gita with rapt attention. So hearing is one, and that's also nice, but with rapt attention, very important. So same word Krishna is saying, ekagrena chetasa. Why Krishna is asking this question to Arjuna? Now, when Arjuna and Krishna is speaking this Bhagavad Gita, having this conversation, where are they having this? In a battlefield. And how many people are assembled there? It says 64 crore people are there. Now, if you go to Hare Krishna temple on a Sunday evening, there are 300 people. It's hard to hear when you are having prasadam. Prabhu, kya bola? What did you say, Prabhu? So much kids are speaking, this Prabhu is doing that, Prabhu, this seva is going on. That's very hard to hear each other. When you go to Radha Ashmi, you cannot hear at all. So much loud kirtan is going on. So it's a valid question or no? It's a valid question. So Arjun heard it, but Krishna is saying, did you hear with ekagrata, with concentration, with attention? That's the first question. Second question, even if you heard it, what was the purpose of speaking Bhagavad Gita? Arjun was in illusion, and Krishna wanted to remove that illusion through his teachings, through his instructions. That's the purpose. No? Krishna is asking if that purpose is resolved. Kachid ajnana sammoha. Your ajnana and your moha. Sammoha means big moha. Samyak moha. Pranastaste means nashted, destroyed. Have your ignorance, ajnana, and illusion gone or not gone as yet? Even if you say, no, Master Ji, Teacher Ji, I've heard. Arey, calm hua ki nahi? Sometime, you say someone, you should not smoke, you should not drink and all that. Yes, Very good points. Very good points. So are you going to quit smoking? नहीं वो नहीं करेंगे. I cannot quit smoking. But you spoke very nicely. And this doctor will pull his hair. Manmohan Prabhu sometimes would feel like that. Huh? I'm sure, you'll give a good instruction to a patient. Patient say, Manmohan Prabhu, whatever you spoke was very nice, but I cannot follow you. Is he really understanding? Is he really? No, that's not understanding. No. A police catches a thief and he beats the thief, for example, gives some punishment. Next day, thief does the stealing again. So police wala will say, Abhi bhi nahi samjha. But no, I understood what you said. What do you understand? You are still stealing. So you understand the point? So Krishna is saying, have you heard it with ekagra chitta, with full attention, and your ajnana and samoha is gone? What's the difference between ajnana and samoha? Anyone? Tanya Mataji. I want everyone to participate. What's the difference between ajnan and moha? Ajnan means ignorance, moha means illusion. Any ideas? Give me a thread. Anything. What comes to your mind? Yes,
I
Priya
don't know.
Mataji.
I'm not sure, but this is just what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Like, would ignorance be like more like would it be like that you are actually intending, like knowingly you are being unknown to the truth,
Yeah.
knowingly
So,
being unknown to the truth, and then illusion.
it says ignorance means not knowing the truth at all.
Yeah.
Illusion means you are in a better situation, but you still show that you don't know. Your illusion. That's why I say when you're driving a car, you see a mirage, right? You see water on the road. Is the water there? No. But you say it's water. Huh? So illusion means something which doesn't exist. Maya, what does Maya mean? Ma means no, ya means ya. This does not exist. It feels like it exists. There's no sukha. It feels like sukha. Huh? So what's the difference? Agyan means not knowing. Illusion means knowing but showing that you don't know. So this is the situation of Arjuna. So Krishna is asking two questions. If your ignorance is gone, like complete ignorance, not knowing is gone, and then knowing it properly. Sometime in India or in other parts of the world, I know God. Who's God? वो तो ज्योति है. He's a Jyoti. Oh, really? Who has told you? Where's the shloka for that? They cannot prove it. I know everything. Acha, what do you know? So ये गणेश, दुर्गा जी, शिव जी सब समान हैं. Everyone is same. Okay. My dadi told me, my nani told me, my neighbor told me this and that. So that is called illusion. So one is not knowing. If you remember from 9th chapter, you remember Jananti, Ajananti, and Avajananti. Avajananti Mamuda. Avajananti means you show that you know, but actually you don't know. So it's exactly opposite. So ignorance is not knowing. Illusion means knowing opposite to what needs to be known. And you say, I know everything. So Krishna is asking these two questions. Have you heard it with concentration? And is your ignorance and moha illusion is gone or no? If not, Vishwanath Chakravarti says, Krishna says, tell me what sections of Bhagavad Gita you did not understand. I'll re-explain you, or I'm happy to re-explain the whole Bhagavad Gita. Now you guys don't ask me. It took 2 years to come here. I'm putting this disclaimer. Krishna is speaking. So Vishwanath Chakravarti is saying, Krishna has so much love for Arjuna. Now I also have a lot of love for all of you, but re-explaining the whole Bhagavad Gita, maybe next batch. So you understand the question of Krishna? And why is this question? Again, compassion, love of Krishna. That, my dear child, if you did not understand, I'm happy to re-explain you. And not only he's saying, I have done my job. So what's the purpose of the job? That's why Prabhupada said, the purpose of Krishna consciousness practices is transformation of the heart, not your knowledge, not your intelligence, not your beauty, not your this and that. I've been in the movement for last 30 years. You talking to me like that? And some English philosophers said that, just because the hairs have become gray, it doesn't mean you're knowledgeable, isn't it? Hairs will grow anyway if you have knowledge or you don't have knowledge. So that is no representation of how long you have been in the movement. Yeah, that maybe is no representation of you becoming a serious devotee. I know 5,000 verses. All right. So what? So what? Is your heart changed? Have you started loving Krishna? If we started surrendering to Krishna, that's the criteria. And all of this, what we are doing is Jnana Yajna. That's why we are not like becoming scholarly in these classes. We are trying to become Krishna conscious in these classes, because Krishna is saying, by doing, you are doing Yajna which pleases to me. That's the whole purpose of these classes. And the exam is also not for proving how scholarly I am, is just to come closer to Krishna by his teachings. Okay, it's 9:03. I'll stop here. I know there's a few verses left, but we'll do it in the next class, and we'll do revision. Now there are 2 classes left. So one is on 7th of February, if I'm not wrong. Yes, and the next is on 12th, which is a Monday, because 14th, Her Grace Urmila Mataji is in Sydney, and she will give class for Bhakti Shastris. So we'll have 7th and 12th. So we'll do these verses. They are not very big verses. Just 2 verses have some philosophy. Rest is we can do quickly, and then we'll start doing some revision of the 6 chapters. So we'll just pick a few major themes of those chapters, and we'll just do a revision together. And if you have any questions, you can please ask. And also thank you to everyone for submitting your assignment. And I have given some feedback. I'm still work in progress, and I've got in touch with some of you with some feedbacks. So if you have received my message, please respond to those messages, and I'll update your file accordingly. But if you have not, that means either everything is okay or I'm not done with my job yet, because it's been only 2 days since I have received the assignment. Okay, thank you, everyone. Anything, Adi Dev Prabhu, Sundar Prabhu, which is for this batch?
No, Prabhu, I think that's pretty much it. The 12th class was the one that you already said. So 2 more classes, and the one, the 14th would be just for all the Bhakti Shastri students across, like we had previously.
And the most important thing, 18th February is the exam, final exam of Bhagavad Gita. So please, again, as a devotional service, study for next 2 weeks. I'm here to help you, whatever I know, little bit. If you want to set up a time for something, you can message me, you can email me, and whatever is possible, we can try to get through that obstacle, if there is any. Although I know all of you, I'm looking at the copies, I'm very pleased that everyone has done very wonderful. They have written very nicely. Some people have literally done an essay for each short question, and I can show the copy is very, very nicely done, and like 1.5 page writing. They could have written 1 word or 1 line. So this is very, very inspiring. That means they are showing their self-interest. They didn't have to do it, but they did it. So that's very nice. So they're and they have written, actually, I'm writing it for my understanding. I was like, wow, very nice. So thank you to all of you for spending all the time. And we're just trying to learn a little bit. Again, the purpose is not to become a scholar or knowing these many verses, but just to come close to Krishna. That's a humble attempt. And if there's something can be improved, please let me know if we can improve this seva. Okay, let's stop here.